Here's a preview of the first 2 steps in making your snowflake. Great, I'm going to show you how to make a snowflake. It is, you can take any rectangular piece of paper, or if you have square paper, you're lucky, just start with the square. But if you have a rectangle, just fold one corner over to the other side as far as you can. And you'll have about, you can kind of see how much space I have at the top. This part is left over, and this part you're going to cut off. And when you do that, it's like you've made a triangle, but you've also made a perfect square. Okay? So you're going to keep it into the large triangle. And if you had a square piece of paper, just fold it in half diagonally, so you have a triangle. And then from here, you're going to take one corner and fold it over to the other corner. This is fold number 2. And there are only 4 folds. The trick is to make sure your folds are even so they line up as close as possible. Okay, that's fold number 2. Here's a preview of fold 3, 4, and the final cutting piece for your snowflake. And this next fold, fold 3, you're going to take this side, and you still want to keep this point down here, but you're going to fold this a little past, like if this is halfway, you're going to do it a little past halfway, because we want this to be folded into thirds. And then this side is going to come and line up over here. And it should kind of fold right along this edge. Okay, and you're going to try to keep that point. That's the hardest fold, that's fold number 4. So this is fold 3, and then this one folds over fold 4. So you know you got it pretty close if there's not much of a gap here. If you have a big gap, let's say it looks like this, you just move this one over a bit so that they line up better into thirds. That's it. Now you're going to snip off across the top here, and as straight a line as you can. And when you snip that off, you'll realize this paper, it gets kind of thick, and so when it's time to cut out our design, you might want someone older to help you a little bit with that. Next comes the fun part of making your design that'll eventually be your snowflake. So now that you have this folded over, here's the open side and here's the fold side. And when you design your snowflake, you can actually cut out on both sides, but the key is to make sure you have some of this fold side remaining, because that's the part that's going to keep your snowflake attached. So I'm going to do a design, like maybe some looks like this is kind of like a castle, rounded end. So I'm going to do something like that, and I have no idea how it's going to look, but I'll give it a try. And then here's another one I designed. This one's like the Swiss cheese design. And then you can take your time and cut these out. I'll do the Swiss cheese one first. So the trick on cutting out carefully, you always cut away from you, so away from your hand. And you're going to want to use the center part of the scissors when you've got this much paper. That's like kind of the fulcrum, you got more power there. So just cut from that center part, and you can control the scissors a little bit more. See how I'm moving my hand away from the sharp point of the scissors as I go. So again, if your parents or an adult in your house can help you, great. If maybe they can watch you do this and give you some tips as you're doing it too, so you stay safe. But for younger students, still it's fun to do this. You can be the designer and the folder, and then you can hire someone out to help you be the cutter. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this piece out. So we'll see what happens with this piece. It's going to be interesting. Okay, let's open this up and see what happens. I think the best part of doing this is to open it up and see what your design created. Ooh, look at that. So that is a big circle. Fun. And look at all those holes there. Love it. Okay, so that's fun. Now let's see what this one, so that was actually cutting out, I want to just show you this, on both sides of the, like I cut out on the fold side, but I left some of it attached, and I cut out on the kind of the opener side, more open side. This time I'm only cutting out from the open side. I'm leaving most of the folded side intact. So there's lots of different methods. You can, in this video, I show you lots of different options for designs. And then you can go online too and see if you can find some other, oops, I can't see. I didn't follow my line exactly, but that's okay. See, I'm using the center of those scissors and I'm cutting away from my hand each time. Okay, so let's see what this ends up looking like. And if you open up your snowflake and it all falls apart, that means you didn't leave some of that folded edge attached. Oh, wow. I don't think I've ever gotten the middle cut out. Look at that, interesting. So that was fun. So I think that's the fun part of this, is no matter how you design and cut it out, it's gonna be an adventure opening it up. And they're all gonna be unique, just like real snowflakes. Have fun. Here are several different snowflake patterns you can try or create your own.